From the one and only, this is a Local 10 News Update, sponsored by FHIA, Florida Home Improvement Associates.
Good afternoon, South Florida. I'm Christy Kruger. Here's a look at some of the stories making news on this Tuesday. A disturbing sight in Northwest Miami-Dade. A dog found burned to death at the corner of Northwest 95th Street and Northwest 25th Avenue. This is in West Little River. Someone called police this morning to say the dog was set on fire. When police got there, the dog was already dead. And Miami-Dade Animal Services will now perform a necropsy to confirm how the dog died. So far, no arrests have been made. A man bonding out of jail last night after he's accused of attacking the driver who got into a crash with his son. Police say Pablo Batten arrived at the scene of that crash in Pembroke Pines on Sunday evening, grabbed the other driver by the neck and slammed him to the ground as officers were conducting a sobriety test. That 65-year-old man suffered a major head injury and was taken onto the hospital. Batten is charged with aggravated battery as well as resisting arrest. And charges have been dropped against a man wrongfully arrested for a bar brawl, and now he is the one seeking justice. Detectives initially believed that Jorge Crisales Santolongo was the suspect who stabbed another man in the face during some sort of a fight on West Flagler Street. This happened in March. The 52-year-old was arrested 6 months later, spent one night in jail and thousands of dollars in legal fees before investigators realized they had the wrong guy. He wasn't at the scene of that crime at all. In fact, he and his attorney are now trying to make sure this does not happen to anyone else.
Listen to Local 10's podcast, The Florida Files, wherever you are, whenever you want. Just say, Alexa, play the Florida Files podcast.
Getting the latest episode of Florida Files. Here it is from TuneIn.
Previously on the Florida Files.
Or just ask Siri, I want to hear the latest Florida Files podcast.
Here's the newest episode of the Florida Files.
Get the Florida Files on Alexa, Google Home, or Apple devices just by saying play the Florida Files podcast. The Florida Files from the one and only Local 10.
The family of a doctor who was burned to death after getting trapped in his Tesla is now suing that automaker. 48-year-old Omar Ohan was killed in a fiery crash in Davie in February. His widow is now suing Tesla, saying the car's automatic door handles remained locked, preventing emergency responders and Good Samaritans from being able to get him out. That suit also alleges that the car's ion battery was not properly secured with safety measures to prevent or minimize the risk of that fire happening. As breaking news happens, we have you covered on air and online. Head to local10.com for more local news coverage and updates all day long.